Okay, what do we got here? All right. Star Citizen had no other option. Staff leaked to press. Here we go. We're gonna hear about all of this extra time they had to put in because game devs have never done that before. Let's hear Bellular News and what he has to say about the leak from staff. Do we have the name of the person? Like, can we get an interview of the person? That would be great.
Sponsored by Squarespace. 18 days. That is how long Cloud Imperium Games demanded their staff crunch to create a pristine demo of Squadron 42. Now, Squadron 42 is the episodic single-player game, basically a AAA game based in the Star Citizen universe, made using all the Star Citizen tech. It's got full FPS, EVA stuff, you can walk around the big capital ships, and it has proper cinematic ambitions, which means big actors. You've got Mark Hamill, Gillian Anderson, Mark Strong, Andy Serkis, Liam Cunningham, John Rhys-Davies, big names, and a level of production value and attention to detail that befits all of that. Now, of course, there were crashes, not all was well, and when we examine the overall story, one thing's clear. Chris Roberts, the man in charge, has got the many traits of a typical visionary. Now, it's a vision that I even backed a decade ago. It's his dream game, it's also kind of my dream game, that's why I backed it. But the path.
Yes, and that is important to realize because there's really no one else in the industry trying to do this. So, just keep that in mind if you're a gamer. I talked about this on the other highlight. Keep that in mind that it is good to dream even if you fail. And I'd rather be with the dreamers and fight for something. And basically what they're trying to do to dynamic server meshing is going to revolutionize gaming. Okay? I'm not going to get into this talk again. I'm saying the same things over and over again, and I find it crazy. And I think I say these things over and over again because nobody's saying this, but everybody is saying this. It's the craziest thing. What's up, Dynas?
Next time, it's gonna be black.
Thank you for that, bro. Thank you for that very much, dude.
Pathway to here has been bumpy. Deadlines have been missed, monetization has got very controversial, and right now, it looks like their yearly earnings have somewhat plateaued. We actually know.
Oh, did they now? Did the year? Oh, did they now? Who was saying that? Who was saying that this year?
I'm in a fountain.
I did happen to say that I think that the financials were going to plateau. Now, realize though that the revenues still look like they're on a trajectory to tie or maybe inch out a beat from last year. Just so you guys are aware of the financials, because I watch them. At least the revenues. Doesn't mean they're going to report a profit, but it looks pretty healthy even if they do plateau. And realize that with any business, there's always these huge growth spikes and then contraction and contraction. And then they go through another growth spurt again if they're successful. If people aren't happy with the project, stop spending, stop pledging. Because the way that you're going to make a dent and get through to the developer and in the way that they're funding this game, Cloud Imperium, is by stop spending money. So for the people that are the most upset, stop spending money. You would think that these people would stop spending money. However, I've got a feeling that they're still spending money, but they're just getting on a content creator who's pissed off, and then they're like going off, and then they're getting pissed off, and then they're yeah. Then they like secretly buy, the next new ship. It's kind of crazy to me. It's a crazy world, man.
Know the Cloud Imperium Games' burn rate, that's how much money they spend every month. We know it's massive, and with this all being timed for CitizenCon, it seems that they needed a win, something to instill confidence and to bring in fresh blood. Fresh blood, of course, at the cost of 18 days of back-to-back crunch, which has a tinge of desperation, but to get a demo, to get a 90-minute YouTube video so good that people would have to pay attention. I can't deny how impressive that demo is. We see sprawling capital ships you can explore, first-person combat, battle.
Of course, man. They're trying to sell a product. They're trying to sell a dream that they want to become a reality. It is not a fucking scam. We've been in this too long at this point. Anybody screaming scam, the Star Citizen is a scam, you should instantly unsubscribe from and stop watching. It's like fucking ridiculous because they know zero about game development if they're telling you this is a scam. At this fucking point, I still see these Star Citizen as a scam. No. They might not make it. They might not succeed, but they've fucking got the work and they've shown us it. Even if people aren't happy with it, it's there.
That feel intense. And I do say this stuff as a backer from back in the day. I've regularly played the persistent universe. I've done the space battles. I've done the FPS. But seeing it all brought together with this level of production value and the framing of a single-player story is quite incredible. It's compelling. Between the world building, the capital ship exploration, the massive space battle finale, you can see the ambition that's here. And you can contrast that with some of Roberts' most early work, the Wing Commander franchise. And the funny thing is, you see, the ambition is essentially the same thing. What's changed is tools, technology, and production value. Now,
and he's going to fly right past that, right? And he's going to make you believe that it's only just a reimagination of Wing Commander. And who knows, the story itself might not be great. You know, it might not be. But like what I saw, the prologue looked fucking fantastic to me. And I was in. I was like, wow, I am in this. And that's exactly what Wing Commander did to me. And I say those vibes, man. Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. So, you know, also don't let Bellular News like understate or pass by the tech, how important the tech's going to be, how much money that the tech will bring in if they actually reimagine dynamic server meshing and evolve it, so that you can have at least 1,000 people having large fleet battles in an MMO experience. I'm not even talking about Squadron 42 right now. I'm just talking about the tech that they're working on in the persistent universe, not the single player game right now. If this single player game hits, which I think it will, this is going to bring in a nice big chunk of money. Maybe they're spending the money because they know they've got a product that's going to make them back their ROI. Return on investment. I know these acronyms kind of go over some of these Star Citizen creators' heads because they don't fucking know one bit about business, but they're going to tell you about it. But, you know, like maybe they're spending because they understand they're going to pull more fucking revenue in from Squadron 42 so they can keep creating. Hey, oh no, capitalism? Oh, I mean, I think that's how it works.
All of this arrives a year after being declared feature complete. And I know a lot of people will read that and think, well, that's obviously a lie. It couldn't be feature complete. Well, there could be some features that aren't, but actually one of the biggest problems with AAA is that polish and bug fixes are treated as the last stretch, as an afterthought. But in reality, they are what make a game a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. If you're wondering where the next Hollow Knight is, yeah, it's because they take this part seriously. So I don't deny that they've been working, I expect that they have been. But that of course doesn't help their problem with trust. Now, Chris Roberts himself took the stage, of course, after the crash as he joked about how the demo gods brought their wrath before dropping the date, 2026. Another 2 years minimum, which, hey, to me that...
Dudes, this is such manufactured drama, man. Like, dudes, if people are that upset, like, honestly, step back and then ask yourself a very important question. Who else is doing this? Name me a title. We've had people name titles before. They've missed on marks in terms of scale. They've missed on marks in terms of gameplay. They've missed on marks because one of them wasn't even an MMO that somebody suggested. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy doesn't even understand what it is that we're trying to compare here. Like, you know, because you'll see those comments. People get mad. Well, what about this one? And it's like the dude didn't even understand what Star Citizen was, and he was pissed off, and he was like, well, this is better than Star Citizen.
That's fine, I'm happy to wait for a good game. But he did say, he did assure people that Squadron 42 has been more stable these last few weeks. Those are rather pivotal few weeks. A pivotal few weeks in which a lot of people reached out to the press, and that means we've got plenty to talk about.
Are you fucking kidding me? So let me get this straight. For CitizenCon, their biggest event of the year, their largest day of sales, Chris, how dare he, wanted to get a home run of a demonstration for his solo play game, which he has spent multiple millions, decamillions on, because of the actors and actresses in there, because of the production. I mean, are you kidding me? Of course he wants that. He wants that done. He wants it to be good and stellar, and he wants this for the biggest event of the year. And the people that are working for Cloud Imperium know that CitizenCon is the biggest day of the fucking year. And then those people will leak to the press that they're being pushed too hard in a game dev company. I mean, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Every game dev I know has these crunch moments. Every one of them. It's a normal thing. I'm not saying it's right. People get mad. Well, fuck you, man. I'm overworked and underpaid. Well, yeah, man, that's your job. That's what you pick. I'm underpaid too. But like, if you're in the game dev world, you know that's common. This is not a shock to game devs. They've all been through this before. I ain't saying it's right. But is this a shock? Is this fucking news? Is this just a reason to get upset? It's just a reason to get mad about what is typically normal in this industry. So change the fucking industry. If you're a game dev and you don't like it, find another job. I mean, I heard they had like a sweet cafe. I heard you can get if I worked at a place that had an awesome cafe and I can get a latte every morning, fuck, man. That's not a waste of money to me. Thank you. I will have my latte. And you better have that cool foam. I love that fucking cool foam. Put that cool foam on there. I quit. That's all I got to say.
October 1st, 2024, a company-wide memo drops, and the requirements are rather staggering. Number one, a little bit less crazy, is that staff must be in office Friday, October 4th and 11th. Those are typically work-from-home days. Where things change, though, is Saturdays, October 5th and 12th, are now mandatory office work days. Yes, a 6-day work week, that's a little bit more spicy. Where things change, though, is Sundays. They also became work days. October 6th and 13th would be mandatory work days for the team, but staff are only...
If you are in a salary paying position, and maybe some of these people are hourly, but I would imagine most are a salary position, you do what the fuck they say. I've worked so many hours overtime and not gotten paid for it, because I'm not getting any bonus time because I'm working on salary, because that's a salary position, because that's what you do, then you do it. That's the world I grew up in. If the boss says you got to come in and you got to put in some extra time, that's what the fuck you got to do, man. That's just part of working with the team. That's just part of working at a business. I don't understand why people get so fucking upset about an industry that makes people do this on the regular. And anybody that goes in this industry knows it. I mean, if you're year one into this, you know that already. You know the game dev industry is like that. That's what happens. Maybe they're hourly and they're getting paid overtime, but like if they need you to do this for the biggest event of the year in this company, dude, that's the job. I'm sorry that people get fucking upset when I say shit like this, but I will tell you what, it is a job. This is what the boss wants. If you don't like it, quit. Find a job where a boss isn't going to do this to you. Good luck. If you're in game dev, good luck. Am I wrong here? Put a 1 if you agree with me. I'm just kind of curious. I want to take a poll. Everybody here's here live. Put a 1 if you agree with what I was saying. Put a 2 if you don't. It's fine if you don't agree. I would love to talk to people who don't agree. I love debate. I love to talk fucking deep about issues. But it looks like to me that everybody understands this is the world that we're living in. This is the real world, right? If you're working and your boss says you got to stay to do these things to work, well, that's what you do to get paid. That's the relationship between a boss and an employee. If it seems too rough, nobody's forcing you to stay. You're not in a communist country. Quit. Find something else. Start your own business. Like, what the fuck? Has everybody, what is this shit? I understand some people are in situations that like they got family and kids and, you know, like I understand there's a lot of things. I'm a dad with 2 kids. I get it. Yeah. Would I be pissed off? Hell yeah, I'd be pissed off. But I'd also know this is part of the gig. Like before I would work this, I would be like, this is part of what it is that I got to do if I'm a game dev. I'm going to have to realize this. I'm going to have somebody that can watch my kids. I just feel like there's a huge level of entitlement. I feel like there's so many weak people out there. Like that would never survive in the days of our parents or our grandparents. Definitely not our grandparents. These people would piss their fucking pants. It's that saying that I think Zav was talking about earlier, like hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times, right? We're in a phase where there's a lot of weak men. We're in a phase where we are in a lot of weak men everywhere. There are weak men everywhere. There are men being told, give up your masculinity, just fuck it, fuck you. You can't be a man. You can't state what you feel. You're not allowed to. And you, I mean, what I'm saying right now, oh my God, can you believe I'm saying these things? Oh my God. It's called freedom of speech. If somebody doesn't like it, they leave the channel. And I don't care. And that's the country that we're in. I don't give a damn if people don't agree with me. I love when people disagree with me. I can handle it. I'm cool with it. And I can still like the person if they disagree with me because I'm a fucking human being. And we're taught like, oh, like if you disagree with somebody, you got to be upset. You got to get angry. You got to fucking fight them. Fuck them. You know, not all the time. No. I mean, like sometimes you can disagree with somebody and still live on with your life. It's okay to not disagree. But damn, there's a whole bunch of men out there that are weak. They don't fucking tell people what they feel anymore because they're too afraid. The world has made men afraid. Don't be afraid anymore. I will get you out of this pit of despair. Can I get it? Yes, sir. I will get you out. Get out. That doesn't mean say racist, sexist shit. Again, I got to put that on there. Like, you know, they're seeing me. They're like, oh, this guy's definitely like a racist or something. Look at him. He's bald and he's got a soul patch and some crazy thing growing on his lip. How dare you? This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Well, till you see what it becomes. Wait till you see what it becomes. Won't even understand.
Encouraged to take those days in the office. They could work from home. It's just as it was in Genesis. And on the 7th day, God was really far behind schedule, but ordered himself a cheeky Nando's to his home office. Now, in that original memo, staff were told they would get the time back later. They were told that there would be breakfast and lunch provided, but where it gets a little bit more interesting is that 11 minutes after journalists contacted Cloud Imperium Games about this, asking a few questions, staff suddenly found out that they were also getting a paid holiday scheduled after CitizenCon. Almost as if, from a managerial perspective, they kind of clocked on to just how bad this looks. And in situations like this, it's worth thinking, is this malice or is this a management problem, a time management, a schedule problem? You see, everybody...
It's a what? It's a product that needs gloss on it so that it looks good for a mass of people that have checkbooks. Well, no checkbooks anymore. That tells you how old school I am. They've got a fucking phone and they're going to QR code that fucking money to you. It's a whole group of people watching at a one-time event of the year that want to be wowed, and you better fucking wow them. Like, what are we talking about here? This feels like very manufactured drama. Very manufactured
drama. Everybody knows that
drama.
extreme crunch like this is borrowing money from...
And I'm sorry, but like, I would fire these motherfucking employees. I would just be like, nah, you don't care. Fuck you. I mean, like what we're trying to do here is we're trying to fucking be a healthy business, and we need CitizenCon to go without a hitch, and we need some fucking revenue coming in here so you guys can get paid. So yeah, you're going to have to do some fucking extra shit so that we can continue to be a business and that we can continue paying you. 'Cause that is the world that we live in. No. Okay, and if these people got that upset and started leaking shit like, oh, my feelings, oh my God, you're fired. Get out. Get. You got to get people that are going to believe alongside of you. And that goes from the very top tier to the very low tier. When you're building these, the hardest thing is when you start getting bigger and bigger as a business and you bring in more and more and more and more people. It is a very hard thing to do to grow at scale a business. You have to make sure that everybody that you bring in is on board for this and that is passionate about this. They want this just as bad as you do or close to it. And that they've got to have the fire in them. They've got to feel the inspiration. They got to come to work. They got to be like, I really love being a part of this project. And I got to tell you, for the most part, what I see at Cloud Imperium, they are. But there's some people, they had bad experiences. I don't know. Maybe it's Chris's style of management. I have no idea. But here's the thing I know. The thing I know are the facts. The facts are the revenues might be plateauing and they might be contracting, and that's perfectly normal. That's part of the cycle of a business. And if they do contract, hey, good. You know why? Because then maybe some certain things will get done faster. You know, that's kind of how this works. If people are that upset, you'll see the money start to drop, and it's perfectly normal. And guess what? The people that are bitching, they're probably the first that's going to lose their job. Like the people, they'll find out who leaked this shit. Cause you know Karens, man, Karens and Chads. They got to fucking talk about everything. They got to talk about everything in the office place. Somebody's going to find out who is fucking talking. And when shit gets tight, and they don't have that same kind of money and they got to start letting people go, which they will, which every business does. Guess who's going? All these motherfuckers right here that leaked to the press. All of them. They'll be gone. They'll be gone completely.
From tomorrow, but at a ludicrous interest rate. You burn people out. So when it does happen anyway, we can deduce that the people who made the call did not feel that they had any more option. To them, it wasn't just bugs worth fixing because that would be nice for the demo. No, you only make a large, controversial call like this that will tank morale at your company if you really feel like you need to make it. And based on some things we've learned about the state of the company, that does kind of make sense. And look, at the worst of times, we've all been through cycles of work a bit like that. They suck, and you can avoid them with a good solution like today's sponsor, who let you get from
No, sir. No.
Warning, incoming salad vibes.
I got a feeling this next month I'll be pushing that button all fucking month long. Salad, motherfucking vibes.